The mission of this organization is to educate people in the community, not just North Brunswick, but the entire Brunswick area, about safety and health and wellness issues, not just for pets, but also for animals in the community. So we do a lot of work with community cats. We try to teach people how to deal with wild animals. And we try to just make sure people understand what has to be done. We do a lot of support for the rescue community. We make donations to support spay neuter in the shelters. And we try to be as helpful as we can in that regard. We don't have a shelter, so everything we do is a support function.
Do you have a shelter you can go to? Or?
There's a shelter for North Brunswick community, which is in Newark, Associated Humane Societies.
In Newark?
That's where the shelter is for North Brunswick, pound shelter.
Yeah.
And we've looked at building a shelter. Of course, it's so extravagant, it's almost impossible to raise the money for it. So that's where we are. So the idea that we try to do is try to teach people how to keep animals out of the shelter.
Yeah.
What do we have to do to get animals out of the shelter? Is it training? Is it making a better choice when you first get an animal? In fact, this is going to be a series of lectures, and one of ours is going to be how do you select the correct animal for your personal needs. You know, I get a lot of people who will have pit bull in an apartment. Okay? Pit bull in an apartment is a bad combination. That dog needs exercise and it needs space. So if you're in an apartment, what's a better choice than a pit bull? Even in a large breed. There are some large dogs that would surprise you. Things like mastiffs don't need a lot of exercise. Couch potato dogs, you can get away with them in apartments. Even a Great Dane couch potato dog wants to get a little. So you have options.
Sure.
But really, you want to keep. You got to be able to take a dog that fits your lifestyle. If you both work, you need a dog that can be alone for a couple hours.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe you don't want a puppy. Maybe you want to adopt an older dog. So you always got to make those decisions. And first pet for a child, parents come all the time and they just don't have a real clue. But you look at rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, mice, rats, birds. What's the best for a child? And you try to give them the plus and minuses of each one.
Yeah.
My personal feeling, if I had a kid between 5 and 8, I'd be going with a guinea pig. Of course, they're interactive. They don't bite. Okay. They get to know the owner. I would think about using maybe a rat because they're very friendly also. I'm not a big hamster person because they'll bite you as soon as they look at you. I've never been bitten by a rat, guinea pig, or rabbit. I've been bitten by a hamster about 1,000 times.
Well, my wife doesn't like rats in the New York City subway.
Well, see, we don't get them from there, and the rats in the New York City subway are the size of beagles in New Jersey. So, and then there is a stigma with rats.
Yeah, sure
It's
is.
getting people to get past that stigma. And look at how they actually are. What's their behavior trait? Behavior traits are that they're usually pretty gentle. People can sometimes not handle them right. If you're someone who likes to feed through the bars of the cage, you're gonna have a problem because the rat doesn't know whether you're feeding or sticking your hand in the bed.
Yeah.
And they're gonna snap at the food. And their teeth, like most rodents, are sharp.
That's right. Out of the cage.
Yeah, you feed them.
A certain amount of
You try to
freedom.
feed them without going to the bars. You treat them either coming into the cage and putting the food in a dish inside the cage, or feed them outside the cage. Same thing we would recommend if you're keeping a snake. You never feed a snake inside its house. Because when you dangle that frozen mouse or that live mouse inside the housing, next time you put your hand inside there, it thinks you're feeding. And it'll strike.
Yeah.
Even the non-poisonous snakes, if they strike, they can hurt.
Yeah.
Their fangs,
Constrictors,
their
yeah.
fangs on the constrictors are big. And you don't think about it because they're not poisonous.
Yeah.
They're not going to kill you by biting you, but you're going to feel it.